Thank you everybody for inviting me to be here today to do a prayer song. In the Dene people, all our songs are prayer songs, and we're a very spiritual people. And I didn't write anything down, but I was in the dentist's office a half an hour ago and talking with the dentist, talking to him about where I had to be. And he said, well, maybe it's a good idea that we don't freeze you today. We'll hold off on that till Saturday. So I'm glad and thankful that he did that, because he said to me, it's a pretty historic day, isn't it? And I said, it is. You know, my mother getting elected to town council and representing Indigenous people of this territory is a really big thing for our people and for this community. Our people have. I told the dentist that I never thought I would see a day where we'd have Indigenous representation on town council, because of what I faced as a young man growing up in this community and seeing the racism firsthand and being a target, and seeing how far, you know, we've come in the last few years of relationship with the town, with our past mayor and our past council doing that work with the First Nation. And I'm just, it's like a huge, amazing sense of pride that I have today. So with that, I'm just gonna sing a prayer song that's sung throughout Dene, which is Dene territory. From the song is sung basically from one corner to another. It's a very powerful song, and if we could all just please rise and remove your hats. Merci.
I'll call this meeting to order. We acknowledge the traditional territories of the Dene and Cree people of the Fort Nelson First Nations, whose traditional territory is located at the heart of the Northern Rockies Regional Municipalities Administrative Center. We also acknowledge the many Indigenous nations with traditional territory in Northeast British Columbia and the enduring presence of the Métis. Please be advised that tonight's meeting is being streamed and recorded. We're informed today that former Mayor Bill Streeper has passed away. I want to extend heartfelt sympathies from all the people of the Northern Rockies to the family of Bill Streeper and his friends for the long service that Mayor Streeper has provided to the community over many years, serving first as a councillor and then as a mayor of our community. The many accomplishments of Bill Streeper can go without saying, but they include the rec center and the P3 bridge, and he will be sorely missed by one and all in our community. Opening remarks, Mayor Scotty. I'm sorry, Chief of Scotty.
I'm a little short, so. Can you hear me? Welcome, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish a warm welcome to the new mayor of Fort Nelson and the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality, Rob Fraser. I have known Rob personally for over 20 years, since my son was a baby. Rob always impressed me. He was such a nice person and very business-minded. Your incredible friendships, insights, humor, and care in ways will greatly benefit the community. As Chief of Prophet River First Nation, our community is looking forward to working with you in your new role as mayor. We are in exciting times. Our community welcomes you to your new role. Fort Nelson provides an important range of services to our members. Some members live here and many shop here. I believe it is important that we have a strong working relationship and partnership. We look forward to working with you and your new council over the next 4 years, eventually working towards an agreement based on these shared interests and values. It is now time to look to the future with a renewed sense of optimism, to build on the strengths of both of our communities and our people, to be bold and visionaries. We would extend an invitation to you and your team to meet with our community and Prophet River. We would be happy to host a tour and meeting. Let's start some new conversations on how we can work together. Congratulations, Rob. I look forward to working with you over the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you for those words, Chief of Scotty. Now, Sister Patricia Capablanc.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me all? My name is Patricia Capablanc. Some of you may know me as Sister. I have been an elected councillor of the FNFN since 2016, and I'm very honored to serve our people. Masi Cho, hi to Chief Charlene Gale, who has graciously prepared me for today as she sends her regrets on not being able to join us. Chief Gale is currently traveling to Egypt to attend COP27. On behalf of the Fort Nelson First Nation Council, please accept my warm congratulations on your victory and best wishes for our success as you prepare to take up the responsibilities and challenges of the town office and work diligently to find positive outcomes. As you embark upon your new responsibilities, Chief and Council wish to assure you and our treaty partners living in our territory of Northern Rockies Regional Municipality the continued support and friendships of peace and sharing. Our council looks forward to working with you not only to develop closer relations between our communities, but also to concern our efforts in the cause of ensuring the Fort Nelson First Nation territory is a safe place to live and raise our families, all the while working towards the efforts of striking the balance between economic prosperity and environmental stewardship. In the days to come, your commitment to work for the well-being of the residents of Fort Nelson and to develop relationships with our people is what we need to bring for holistic growth to it for everyone. Sorry. From this moment on, you will become representatives of NRRM. May you put the common good over your personal gain to ensure you are making the best decisions for the people and 7 generations to come. Be fair, be equal, and be transparent to all. Knowing many of you before me, I strongly believe that your commitment is responsible and well perceived. During your term, the FNFN Council hopes the constructive collaboration with you newly elected leaders and your team. FNFN would like to thank Mayor Foster and outgoing council members who did tremendous work towards reconciliation and were an amazing leader to work with. Lastly, I would like to emphasize the importance of working together, because only when we unite on common goals can we instigate change and make improvements for the better. Once again, congratulations. Now let's get to work because we are stronger together. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Hi, message show.
Thank you, sister. It's my privilege tonight to recognize the long service of Lori Dolan, counselor who's been in this community for many years. She's given her time and her energy to such organizations as the Rotary Club and many years on council. Lori, if you'd come up.
Thank you.
Someone else here, it seems. Todd Penny, for your time on council, your dedication also to Rotary, Chamber of Commerce, and the many things that you do in our community. I also have a gift for you for your time. It has been my great pleasure to represent the people of the Northern Rockies these past 4 years. I've lived in this community for 43 years, and in that time, I've seen thousands of people call this community home. Some for a few months, some for a few years, and some for decades. Only 7 have had the privilege to serve as its mayor, and I consider this the highest honor and a great privilege. I want to thank the members of my council for their tireless work and dedication to this community. We have not always agreed on issues, but by bringing different perspectives to problems that face the people we represent, we have made our community a better place to live and raise a family. In fact, if we agreed on everything, there would be little point to our time in these chambers. To our staff, the people who continue to put so much effort into providing the services that this community needs, and for their efforts in guiding the council in the best practices to provide good governance to the people we serve. When compared to other communities in the north and across our province, our administration and the men and women that work for this organization have no equal. We all owe them a debt of gratitude for their continuing contribution to the people of the Northern Rockies. And lastly, to my wife, who didn't sign up for this, but who had to listen to my almost constant complaining these past 4 years, who packed the suitcase and accepted the time away from family, who tolerated the criticism from others, who ironed the shirts and pressed the suits so that not only was I the mayor, I looked like the mayor of the Northern Rockies. And those efforts brought respect to this office that it deserves. And so I leave this place with many good memories, and for this new council, my best wishes for fair winds and following seas. Thank you.
So we'll move to the oaths of office. Hold on a second. I'm gonna move this over.
I, Robert John Fraser, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of mayor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter. I will not participate in the discussion of the matter. I will not vote in respect of the matter. Sworn by me before you today. What was it?
You want to do a mock?
No.
Just pretend.
There we go.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to take your seat. Phoenix. Do you wish to swear on the Bible or solemnly?
I, Brenda May Enox, do solemnly swear, affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interests to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest I have in a matter and will not participate in discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. I swear before you.
And everyone around.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you kindly. We'll have to switch with Lorraine. Oh, congratulations. You need my pen back. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. Kyle. Do you want to swear or solemnly affirm?
I'll swear. Or
You want to solemnly affirm?
yes, sorry. I, Kyle Darrell James Andrews, do solemnly swear I am qualified to hold the office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I've been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly, I can hear myself, it's weird, contravene the Local Government Act, respectfully respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interests I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. I guess affirmed by me, Kyle Andrews, in front of all of you.
Just hide behind the little tree. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Do you remember where you're sitting? Yep. Councilor Gerwing. Do you want to solemnly affirm or swear?
I'm short. I, Lorraine Dale Gerwing, do solemnly swear that I am qualified to hold the office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect, how do you say that word? There you go. Interest I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect to the matter. Sworn by Lorraine Dale Gerwing before all of you on this day.
You're trying to get out of a photo. Okay. Tracy's on down.
Thanks.
There's a method to my madness. As for souls. Would you like to swear on the Bible?
Oh, sure. I like Bibles. I, Daniel Joseph Souls, do solemnly affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or by another person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interest that I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. Affirmed today before you. Thanks.
Lovely. Would you like to swear or solemnly?
Solemnly affirm. I, Leslie Corina Dickey, do solemnly swear and affirm that I am qualified to hold the office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not by myself or any other person knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform my duties of office and will not allow any private interests to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interests I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. Sworn, affirmed by Leslie Corina Dickey before me at Fort Nelson, BC, this 7th day of November, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly, last but certainly not least, Councillor Roper. And I think this is gonna have to.
I, Jonathan Douglas Roper, do solemnly swear and affirm that I am qualified to hold office of Regional Councillor for the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality to which I have been elected. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the Local Government Act respecting vote buying or intimidation in relation to my election to the office. I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. As required by the community charter, I will disclose any direct or indirect pecuniary interests I have in a matter and will not participate in the discussion of the matter and will not vote in respect of the matter. Sworn and affirmed by Jonathan Douglas Roper before all of you at Fort Nelson, British Columbia, the 7th day of November.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that concludes our oath of office, and I present to you the 2022 to 2026 Mayor and Regional Council of the Northern Rockies Regional Municipality.
So I guess it's my turn to take over the agenda. All right, I got to speak into this. I'm not used, won't be used to that for a little while, I'm sure. It is my pleasure as the first order on the agenda as the new mayor of the Northern Rockies to present Mayor Foster with the Service Award. It is, I've known Gary for a little while. We sit on many committees together. He's an advocate for this community, and I've seen him in action myself. He's done a wonderful job at the coalition, at NCLGA, at NDIT, at many meetings that we've had both in face and face-to-face and on the phone with ministers over the years. He's advanced the cause of reconciliation in the North as good as anybody in the North has. He's built relationships around the region and has opened the Northern Rockies to Peace River communities for sure. He's opened doors in the legislature, BC legislature, as well as he's opened doors in Ottawa. And it's through those doors that this council will walk. And I'm privileged to be able to recognize your service, Gary. Thank you much. Thank you and good luck. So the next order of business is the appointment of the acting mayors. Appointment of the acting mayors, the year is done by the mayor. We have existing, we have from now to the end of the year, Councillor Gerwing has already been appointed as the acting mayor in the event that I'm unable to perform the job. So Councillor Gerwin will be the acting mayor till the end of the year. January and February will be Councillor Kyle Andrews. March and April will be Councillor Gerwin again. Councillor Roper will be the acting mayor in May and June. Councillor Souls in July and August. And hopefully that doesn't interfere with yeah, that's haying season. I suspect that you'll be around during that. Hopefully it won't get in your way. Councillor Dickey will be the acting mayor in September and October. And Councillor Enax will be the acting mayor in November and December of next year. We have standing committees that are also appointed by the mayor. The next order of business on the agenda. So the Emergency Program Executive Committee, appointed by me. The chair will be myself, Mayor Rob Fraser. The vice chair will be Regional Councillor Kyle Andrews. And the alternate will be Regional Councillor Danny Souls. So that's done. The appointment of the Selects Committee is done by resolution. So we'll need a resolution for the Community Health Plan Steering Committee, at which I believe the best appointee for that is Regional Councillor Gerwin. Okay, moved by Councillor Souls, second by Councillor Roper. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Gerwin. The next appointment of the Select Committee is the Environmental Advisory Committee. Councillor Gerwin also sits that at this particular time, and I think that she should continue that, as well as the alternate being Councillor Dickey. Can I have a resolution for that, please? Moved by Councillor Andrews, second by Councillor Roper. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. The third Select Committee is the Tourism Action Committee. It's my pleasure to put forward Councillor Enax's name there. I know that she's that tourism is near and dear to her heart. The alternate will be appointed by the members of that committee itself. So can I have a resolution, please? Moved by Councillor Andrews, second by Councillor Roper. Is there any discussion with respect to that? Seeing none. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Portfolio assignments is the next order of business. I have changed the portfolios up a little bit. Perhaps in my closing comments today, I'll talk a little bit about why. In the agenda tonight, if some of you have the agenda package, there's a little bit of an explanation about each of these portfolios. The first one is public safety. And really that looks after everything from roads, streets, water, sewer, RCMP, fire, anything that might have to do with the safety and the operations of safety activities in the community. And I appoint myself to that portfolio. It's something near and dear to my heart, safety of people and care for people. The environmental, health, environment, and seniors affairs. I would like Councillor Gerwin to take that portfolio. She's been active in both the health and environmental field in the past, and I think that she does a great job for us there. Did I miss one thing? No. I've added reconciliation and inclusion. I believe it's a very important portfolio that we should have in our council. I believe we need to have a councillor who is paying attention and learning as much as they possibly can, reaching out and bringing back ideas to us about furthering the cause of reconciliation and inclusion in our region and in the province. And I would like Councillor Dickey to take that portfolio. I know in her past life, reconciliation was part of the job that she was doing before, and she's been recognized at a very high level in the country with respect to this topic. So I believe that Councillor Dickey will do us a wonderful job with respect to reconciliation inclusive. Tourism, arts, and heritage. again, it's another very important portfolio. I believe that as we move forward in this community, a big part of our economic development will involve tourism, arts, and heritage. Councillor Enax is very interested in and has a passion for tourism, the arts, and the heritage, and I would like Councillor Enax to take on that portfolio. Agricultural and rural development. It only goes to stand that Councillor Souls be the representative to this portfolio in agriculture and rural development, which also includes the communities along the highway. I think there's a great opportunity for us to achieve food security, and I think Councillor Souls is the person to help us move in that direction. Recreation and parks, I'd like to assign to Councillor Roper. I believe that the buildings that we have, the great opportunities that we have in this community are just empty buildings without people in them. And we need to be working with all of the service groups who provide educational opportunities, and the volunteers and our staff who fill these buildings and put these programs on. And I think it's important that we're interacting with all of those service groups, and I hope that you'll be able to do that for us. And last but not least, education is near and dear to my heart as a requirement to have a sustainable community. I believe that our council needs to be working closely with the school board, with Northern Lights College, and with the universities to really help us develop our children and our adult learners who want to improve themselves. I think the Councillor Andrews will do a great job in that portfolio, and I recommend that Councillor Andrews take on education. Okay, there are several other appointments that need to be made. These are all done by resolution. These are done by the will of council. I've made some recommendations, but obviously these are open to debate and discussion if you feel that you would like to do that. The first one is the Alaska Highway Community Society, and I recommend Councillor Enax for that. Can I have a resolution to that effect, please? Moved by Councillor Roper, second by Councillor Dickey. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. The Board of Managers of the Joint Venture Commercial and Industrial Subdivision, for the industrial subdivision. It's long worded, and I'm assured that there's not a lot of meetings involved with this, but I'm interested in becoming aware and understanding what's happening with this group. So I would like to be appointed to this if I could. Moved by Councillor Gerwin, second by Councillor Andrews, that I be appointed to the Board of Managers of the Joint Venture Commercial and Industrial Subdivision. Is there a discussion?
There has been very few meetings about that and very little discussion over the long time. And we all like to continue to learn. So we'll learn along with you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. The Emergency Operations Committee. I would like to see myself on there, Councillor Andrews and Councillor Souls. Moved by Councillor Enax, second by Councillor Dickey. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. Fort Nelson District Chamber of Commerce, I would like to have myself appointed to that. Moved by Councillor Growing, second by Councillor Enax. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That carries. The Fort Nelson Historical Society, I would like to see Councillor Enax appointed to that. Moved by Councillor Dickey and second by Councillor Souls. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, that passes. The Fort Nelson Public Library Association, I would like to see Councillor Dickey appointed to the library board. Moved by Councillor Gerwing, second by Councillor Enax. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. The Municipal Finance Authority. Everybody take a deep breath. I would like to just maintain the primary and secondary contacts that we've had already. So Councillor Souls as the primary appointee to the Municipal Finance Authority. Alternate would be Councillor Andrews, and the second alternate would be Councillor Gerling, as it was before. Moved by Councillor Andrews, second by Councillor Enax. Is there any discussion? This is where you don't get to say no. All in favor? Opposed? It's carried. The Municipal Insurance Association, which is almost as exciting, but very necessary. I'd like to appoint the primary contact as Councillor Andrews, with the alternate as Councillor Enax, and the second alternate as Councillor. Moved by Councillor Souls, second by Councillor Andrews. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. The North Central Local Government Association. I'd like to appoint Councillor Gerwing to this. She has been on the board, I guess, for 8 years before, and a bit of a hiatus, and she's agreed to go to Prince George and educate those folks down there about what we're all about. So I'd like to appoint Councillor Gerwing. Moved by Councillor Enax, second by Councillor Andrews. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. NDIT, which is Northern Development Initiative Trust, Northeast Regional Advisory Committee. I'd like to appoint myself. I'm very interested in getting on the Big B board, but I'd have to be appointed to the advisory committee first, and then see if there's anybody there who would nominate me to sit on the bigger board. But myself there, and an alternate as Councillor. Moved by Councillor Roper, second by Councillor Dickey. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. I'd also like to appoint myself to the liaison with the Phoenix Theatre Management Society. Moved by Councillor Gerwing, second by Councillor Enax. Discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That passes. The Poplar Hills Golf and Country Club Society, I would like to propose that Councillor Dickey be appointed to the golf course. Being an avid golfer that she is. Moved by Councillor Roper, second by Councillor Enax. Is there any discussion? All in favor? All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. The RCMP Community Consultative Group, because that's part of public safety, I'd like to be appointed to that myself. Moved by Councillor Gerwing, second by Councillor Enax. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Any opposed? That passes. The Code River Planning Advisory Committee has had Councillor Souls and Councillor Andrews on there, and I'd like to add Councillor Enax as well. Moved by Councillor Souls, second by Councillor Andrews. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Yeah, so that's pretty easy so far. So thank you. It's very first. These are not written in blood. Obviously, it's our first. It's our first crack at it. I really hope that this will be a council that will engage with our community, and true back and forth communication will help us to understand better what's happening in the community, and help us to move the aspirations and dreams of all of the community members and those groups forward. So I'm looking forward to that. So one of the last things I need to do today, I guess, according to the agenda, is the mayor's address to the community. So, wow, it's a little bit emotional for me. I'm excited. The council in District of Taylor had their swearing in ceremony at 5 o'clock, and they let me zoom into that meeting while the new councilors there were sworn in, and I didn't think that it would be as emotional as it is, and I understand Gary's emotion a little bit. You know, even though I've been successful in being elected here, saying goodbye to that council was difficult. And you build relationships with your team, you build relationships with the council, with the staff, and the community, and it's tough. It's very tough to let that go. But I would like to say there's many thank yous here tonight. Chief Scotty, thank you very much for your kind words. Our families are connected, and I guess if you live in this country long enough, you're bound to be related to everybody. And you know, my granddaughter and your niece are one and the same person, and so we have a relationship already. And I am looking forward to working with you and our council and helping our community see common goals and visions moving forward. So thank you very much for the kind words that you brought tonight. Councillor Dickey, there's two of you here tonight. So Curtis, thank you very much for the drum song. The drum beats inside of us. We feel it. It's our hearts beat. Most of our hearts beat at a steady rhythm. Mine hasn't quite been beaten at a steady rhythm in the last couple of months or last couple of weeks, but that constant drum beat that permeates all of us is a common thing that we're able to seize upon and work together with. And so I'd like to thank you for your drumming and the prayer that you've given us tonight. Masi. Councillor Capelblanc. Sister, who would have known when we were young adults and small teenagers that we would be here someday? This truly is a historic day. It's historic for all of our community, all three of our communities, that we're able to sit here together and dream and think about the future and build relationships. The last council has done that in spades, and as I said in my comments to Mayor Foster, he's opened those doors. The last council has opened those doors, and I hope that we can all walk arm in arm through those doors. Sister, it's special to me that you're on council and I'm on council, because your dad is a mentor of mine. When I was a young trapper, and it was cold and my dad had left this community, your dad was the one who come and check on me. Dolphus was there helping me, and he's an elder that I respect, and I hope to be able to rebuild that relationship with him that I've had over the years. Your dad and my dad have been friends for as long as I can remember, as long as we've been in this community anyways. So again, it's that tight relationship that we have and our ability, there's some measure of trust there already, and respect. And with trust and respect, our communities can really do just about anything. And so I'm really excited for our communities to move forward. And thank you to all the councils. To see all the councils here shows that there is common interest. It shows that we do have the ability to work together and move forward. So I appreciate all of you coming. To the past council, thank you very much for your service. Gary has talked to you already and recognized your service, but I would also like to recognize that service, because in the last council that was done through the pandemic years, and that was hard on all of us. The province didn't give us an awful lot of help, but yet we were expected to lead our communities through through health orders that were, dictated to us by the folks in Victoria without ever really giving us the tools or the understanding of how we had to take those requirements and keep our communities healthy and viable. And in some communities, it was very difficult. In Taylor, we had to lay off people because we just didn't know whether or not there would be the tax dollars there to keep our programs going. Our buildings were empty, and it was hard, and it had to be just as hard here. As I visited the community and watched the news and listened to the news, you could see how some of these requirements were tearing our communities apart. And the expectation was there that the councils and the mayors would somehow hold our communities together with the staff. And we did that. And you did that as a council, and the community thanks you. It's both humbling and rewarding to be an elected official, especially in this day of the internet and social media, when you're living in a glass house and it seems like everybody's got a handful of rocks that they're throwing at you. But we do it because we love it and we know it's best for the community. So thank you. Thank you very much. Please stay engaged, and your comments and input will be welcome from all of you. To the new council, congratulations. Now the work starts. I liken an election to the shooting of a moose. When you pull the trigger, that's the easy part. The work comes after that. To use that animal to its fullest, and to recognize its spirit. And the same is true for us. The people have elected us to this table to work on their behalf, and in that spirit, we owe it to them to do our best, to do everything we can to help them move the community forward. I'm glad that the voters have selected a very diverse group, both from an experience and background, gender. And I think that the more diverse the opinion is that's brought to the table, the better decisions that get made. We won't always, Gary said this earlier, we won't always agree. But with open, respectful discussion, hopefully we'll be able to come to resolutions that will help move the community forward. Yeah, so I said that we've got a great mix, and I'm really excited about the future of our community. I think we're on the verge of change. There are many forces around the world that will impact what happens to us here, but we need to be in the best position. We need to work with the community. We need to work with the service groups. We need to put ourselves in a position where this community can take advantage of the opportunities that are coming this way. I'm comfortable that's happening. We'll be able to work with our neighbors to make sure that this region is in a position for responsible development of our resources. I think I've talked for the most part. I was going to save my comments about sort of the changes of the portfolio, but I think I made comment about them as I went along. Again, I think there's opportunities for us to scale up responsible industrial development with our neighbors, agricultural and rural development, reconciliation, tourism and heritage. We can scale up what we're doing already to make sure that the communities in a great position and potentially further our economy with in those areas. And while we're advancing those opportunities, we can continue to support and enhance our community's services for the residents, you know, around education and recreation, healthcare and public safety. Those are the things that we have to do day after day after day to ensure that this is a safe region for people to live in. And I think that those portfolios will help us to do that, advance the economic opportunities as well as enhance what's happening in the community already. So last but not least is the staff. I've been wandering around these halls, bouncing from door to door, trying to figure out how to get around here. And the staff have been extremely helpful to me already. It's, as I said, I've only been here a few days and I've already seen professionalism, the staff here at the NRM. Already I've noted the attention to detail just in the planning of this meeting. Some of the work that's been done to help prepare me for this meeting. The staff have been introducing themselves to me and making me feel at home, and for that I'm very grateful. I'm excited to work with Scott and his team and all of us as we create a larger team to advance the community's priorities and our agenda. I'm really looking forward to all of us working together. I believe that that we are really in a great place with our communities, and I'm so looking forward to working with all of you. I probably said that way too many times tonight, but it's true and it's in my heart. I thank all of you for coming out tonight. And finally, I also would like to recognize the life of Bill Streeper. Mayor Streeper's left a lasting legacy here that will be remembered not just for our lifetimes, but for generations. His passion for his community and hard work and dedication will not be forgotten. And before I close the meeting, I'd like us to stand and just observe a small moment of silence. Thank you very much. So I believe that brings us to the end of tonight's agenda. Is that correct? Staff is there with me. So so thank you all for coming tonight. Very much appreciated that you celebrated this evening with us as we start our journey over the next 4 years that will help set the course of our community and continue down the path that the last council has set for us. We've got councillors here who have been on that, will help us continue to walk that road. As I said, when I took over from Mayor Fred Jarvis, who was the Mayor Taylor for 28 years, I can't walk in his shoes, and I'm not going to walk in Gary's shoes. But I hope that we walk down the same path together, because I think Gary and the last council, have set the path for this community to move forward. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So with that, I'd like to adjourn tonight's meeting. Everybody is welcome.